it could be the smell of some food, a certain song, a certain phrase somebody might say, the way a person like anything can trigger you. I really feel like I needed to like cry, like a hard cry, like a cry that I, just let it all out. Hard as it may be on you emotionally, mentally, like life has to go on. Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to another episode. Woo! I'm your host, T Marie, and this is your new favorite listen. Y'all, welcome back to another episode. If this is your first time here, welcome and thank you all for tuning in. Before I get started, I just want to say that the past maybe 3-4 videos you've seen, they were pre-recorded and they were from my main channel. And I think I told y'all that I had switched over to back to this channel as my podcast channel, and my main channel is my vlog channel. So I brought those episodes that I was doing over there, I brought them over here for the ones that haven't seen it yet, and for the future viewers and supporters that will watch it, soon. So those are pre-recorded. I am back. I will be having some guests on pretty soon. Pretty soon. I want to try to incorporate a guest on my channel at least twice a month. Just somebody to come speak from their experience and stuff like that. So you will see that. And I do have a few more pre-recorded videos from the other channel that I am going to be dropping over here, and it's some good topics as well. So that's why I couldn't just let them go to waste. So, how y'all doing? How y'all been? I know the last time y'all saw me, I had like blonde hair, like brownish blonde. It had been that color for so long, baby. The color, it used to be ginger, and then I had washed it and all that good stuff and washed the color out, and it was just time for a new me, a new look. And I decided that I wanted to change my hair color, so I went with the color Intense Red, something to just spice it up for the for this new season. And you know how us women, when we going through something or when we want to detach ourselves from something, most of the time we resort to cutting our hair off. Like going through went through a hard breakup, it was a bad year for you or whatever the case may be, and you decide like, okay, I want to cut off all the dead ends. I want to get rid of, my past. I don't want it to be attached to me, blah, 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 all that good stuff. I've done it 2 or 3 times in my life. And I went like low cut, like almost a fade cut. And so this time I didn't want to do that. I'm like, I'm not finna keep cutting my hair, because if I'd have had to cut my hair already 2 or 3 times, then something must still won't work, and it didn't help or something. I ain't learned my lesson. I don't know. But I was like, I ain't gonna cut my hair again this time. I just had cut it. It's probably been a little over a year now since I last cut it, and I had almost a fade when I cut it. So this time I was like, I'm just gonna, dye my hair a different color. I'm gonna go for a new look. And I think I did this like back when I was in like high school. I went red for a little bit. But back then, y'all know we was using Kool-Aid. And that's what I used to use on my hair, because like I had long hair in high school and I wasn't really wearing weave like that. I was wearing my own hair, my natural hair. And I was getting perms. So, I had to straight. I wore wraps all the time, basically. And so I always use Kool-Aid. How many of y'all used to use Kool-Aid? How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? Baby, that Kool-Aid used to get the job done. And all I did was add water to it and just pour it all over my head. I used about 4 packs of Kool-Aid. I did the cherry. I used to do the cherry because the cherry was redder than the strawberry. So I used to mix cherry and strawberry together and baby put it all in my head and it would come out like this. Like seriously. For the most part, it was like dang near this red with the Kool-Aid. And some people used to add conditioner to theirs, but I didn't. I just pour the water in the little packet and just all over my head. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about um healing. Like I feel like time don't heal, all wounds. Time don't heal, your broken heart, you losing somebody. Um and I feel like we just adjust. I was listening to a podcast because I'm big on listening to other podcasts, trying to pick up some pointers and, just I just like listening to podcasts because, and certain ones, I don't listen to everybody, but I got certain ones I listen to. And I was listening to this guy and y'all got me some hot chocolate here because I'm recording early in the morning, baby. I'm on my grind. Okay, I'm on my grind. I was listening to him one day and he was just talking about um time don't heal, what we going through. Like, when you lose somebody, we adjust to the circumstances. We adjust to, you know, not having them around no more, not, talking to them, like our daily lives and stuff. We adjust to, just not having them here. Um, I feel like you can get a little better with time as far as your emotions, control your emotions and things of that nature. Cause, for a lot of people, when you first lose somebody, of course, you're going to go through the motions. You're going to have them days that you're going to cry, 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 cry. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be sad. You're going to be angry. You're going to go through all the stages of losing somebody, losing a loved one. And so I just be thinking like, because about a week ago, I woke up out of my sleep at about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was watching a video and I can't remember exactly what it was about. I don't know if that person was just talking about their parent or losing a parent or something like that, because I lost my dad, my biological dad, about going on 2 years now. And so I can't remember exactly what was said, but tears just started running down my eyes. Like, I don't know. I was just laying in the bed watching the video, and I don't know if it was a certain thing they said to remind me, because it could be the smell of some food, a certain song, a certain phrase somebody might say, the way a person, like anything can trigger you when it reminds you of the person that you're missing or whatever. So I can't exactly remember what it was, but I don't know about y'all, but if I watch a movie and they crying, like tears just build up. But this time it was different. It was just like the tears were just flowing and flowing and flowing. And my baby was in the bed next to me sleeping. And I really felt like I needed to like cry, like a hard cry, like a cry that I, just let it all out. Like I might scream a little. I might need it to, what I'm saying? I just needed a hard cry, but I couldn't do it because my baby was in the bed. I didn't want my children in the other rooms, in their rooms, to think I was crazy or, whatever. But I really, really needed it. And I feel like I still didn't get it. But I was just thinking like, you learn to live without people. You learn how to adapt to, what I'm saying? If you always saw them on the weekends, or if you talk to them on the phone every day or every other day. And for me, in my situation, like me and my dad, we were like when we were young, up until I'll say me and my brother, Me and my brother that's next to me, I got two brothers, not my baby brother, but my middle brother. The Not the middle brother, but my first brother, the firstborn brother. Um, we got the same dad, so I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, when we were younger, up until about 10, well, I'm gonna say me because my brother's like 3.5, 4 years younger than me. So when I was about up until 10, maybe 11 ish, I want to say, we would always go. My mama most of the time sent us over there on the weekends. Like, I don't know, I guess when she wanted a break or she had some stuff to do or whatever, we would, have to go over there. And so I think up until about we was like 10 or 11, I believe, we were going over there over to my granny's house because he lived with my granny. And so he was up until the first part of my life, up until I was about 10, 11 years old, like seeing him more frequent, like if not every weekend, probably dang near every other weekend. So yeah, and then we of course, the older you get, you get older and you start getting your friends. Y'all start being able to, hang out with your friends, go to the movies, and you get older, so you don't want to hang out with your daddy or your grandparents, or what I'm saying, because you get older and you start to come into yourself, and things like that. You know how normal kids do. We want to hang with our friends, baby. We want to have fun. We want to, and it was just me and my brother, and like I said, he was younger than me. And then in the neighborhood we used to be in, we used to go over there, it was this one black boy that we used to play with. I can't remember his name. He used to be able to come outside sometimes. He didn't really come outside all the time. We weren't really going outside like that. And then our next door neighbors, they were white. They were white, and they had kids, and we used to play with them. They came outside. I remember the girl name, the little girl I used to play with, her name was Becky. And we went in their house a couple of times, but like when they used to come outside, we used to kind of play with them, but not a whole lot, but more than we used to play with the other boy, the black boy. I seen how to come outside. I think he used to come over his daddy house for like weekends and stuff too. And he seemed like kind of more of a nerd to me. But anyway, so and I think like we lost touch because the older we got, we didn't go over there no more. Like, I always still talk to my granny, but when it came to him, no, we didn't really speak. So like years that went by, whatever, wasn't really talking to him, didn't see him no more, because to be honest, we saw him because my mama dropped us off over there. And he would interact with us and stuff. I'm not saying that, but like he would order us Domino's pizza for the most part. And back then we didn't have like the internet. My granny had a computer, but she didn't have the internet. Like, she was one of them old fashioned people who was like, she ain't really believe in. I guess she thought, I don't know, if people can hack into her and get all her information. I don't know. But I always played this game called solitaire on her computer. And that's how I learned to play solitaire. I'm like a 7, 8 year old playing solitaire. So that's how bored, or we really didn't have much to do. And the only toys I remember us having over there, like, we would have the McDonald's, the little toys that came in a McDonald's Happy Meal. And I think my dad, he used to collect them, because when we go over there, we wouldn't, they would already be there. And sometimes when we came over there, our mom would stop us by McDonald's or Taco Bell, and we would have our own. But it was like, for the most part, they were already there. And so we used to watch movies like Bruce Lee, like, so that's how far back y'all know it goes. Like, just add up the years, child. Just add it up. But like over the years we didn't speak, and then every blue moon he always knew my grandma number for some reason. He always knew her number. And he might call over there, and my grandma say, there, he calling for you or whatever. And I would see him here and there because, like, when they were living in Memphis, he knew my uncles. He was friends with my uncles and stuff. And then before I was born, him and my mama was dating, and they was in a relationship. So he knew my family. My family knew him. So I would see him here and there when he would pop up or come around and stuff like that. So I did know my daddy. And like I said, you get older and you drift apart. And he was, the type of man, was a man of few words. I'll say that. And I think that's where I get it from, as far as expressing myself when it comes to my feelings. Like, I remember a lot of times when he would say, I love you, but like, it was just that, it wasn't like, some people might say I love you and they give you the reason why, whatever, whatever, whatever. And, of course, I'm his child. So, I just felt like that's a part of why he loved me, and, whatever. But, and fast forward to 2024, like, I always kept in touch with my granny. Like, I always called and checked on her. She had moved from Memphis to Mississippi. And I still, kept in contact with her. I didn't see her as much because she moved far away. And back then, didn't like to drive long distance. Like, and it was at least a good 3-hour drive, 3.5 hours, maybe something like that. Somewhere up in there. My mama took me a couple of times, and but I didn't never go on my own. I always told her, I'm gonna come see you, or we gonna come this weekend, or we gonna come for the holiday. And like a few times for like Thanksgiving or whatever, she would be over her sister's house, my auntie, and we would just go over there for the first part of, the morning or the afternoon for a few hours, and then we'll head back over to my other grandparents' house on my mama's side. But anyway, so I goes to say this, like, and fast forward to 2024, my granny is no longer here too. And then I also had an uncle. My dad had a brother, and he passed away first. And once I stopped going around my granny's house when we were young, I don't think I ever saw him again, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like I don't think I did. I don't believe I did. And so he passed away first. And, it was years later, and, I went to his funeral, of course. And, so that was the last time I got to see him. Like, he wasn't here no more, but you get what I'm saying? Like, got to physically see him. So, then, years go on. Fast forward, my dad had passed away. What's this? This is 2024. So it was 2022. Yeah. I hope I ain't getting the dates wrong, y'all. But July 2022. Yeah. But so then my granny passed first, and then my dad passed. And so I go to say this, like, when it's the season and the holidays, you thinking about people that you lost. And I just feel like as time go on, you don't necessarily heal. Your emotions may be less, like less crying, less being sad, less being depressed. Of course, you're going to have your moments here and there, like when, like I said, something remind you of them, or you just happen to think of them out the blue, or, the holidays. And so when When people are no longer here, and as time goes on, you learn to not look for that phone call, because sometimes you forget, or if it's something that just happened, you still looking for like that phone call, or you want to pick up the phone and call them. You might see them all the time or talk to them all the time, and then you don't. And so I feel like we just learn to adapt by um just switching up our routine, our daily routine. We might, find some stuff to do that keep our mind off of it. And then the more you go along, you get in different habits. You might have, picked up new routines, new habits, and you just, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I'm sure a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. You just learn to live without a person, people that you thought you never, or especially if it was unexpected. It's like a hard blow, you know, when you lose somebody. And I don't know, I can't really put it into words, but you just, you don't ever stop thinking about them. You're going to always think about them, but it's just that you just somehow you just learn to live without them. You learn to, and always in the back of my mind, for me, it'd be like, damn, I wish I would have had that one more time to be able to talk to him, or that one more time to be able to see him, or say I love you, or I wish I could talk to him now. Because my granny, when you talk to her, well, when I talk to her, baby, she gonna give me the word each and every time. How them babies doing? You took them to church? Stuff like that. And one thing about it, two things for sure. As bad as when I knew I didn't take them, I wanted to lie and tell her like, yeah, we went to church, granny. We went. I couldn't do it. So if I didn't take them, I just had to go on, say, no, I ain't took them yet. And she gonna give me the speech about how, you know, and the kids need to be in church, and I'm gonna be the head accountable for, what I'm saying, not taking them and all this and that. So, and then when you young, and then you like, oh, my granny, she gone, you don't want to really hear it, but you ain't gonna tell your granny or nothing like that. You ain't gonna tell her you don't want to hear that. You just gotta listen to it. And so, I miss those type of things, getting a phone call, or like every year, whether we seen my granny or not for Christmas. But it's what today is, November the 25th. But we'll probably already have a Christmas card by now, or it's one on the way in the mail. My granny never missed a beat when it came to sending out them Christmas cards, like each and every year. And I was over my mama's house last year, I believe, and she was putting up decorations, Christmas lights and stuff outside her house. And she went up in the attic, and it was a lot of old stuff like letters and cards, different cards and stuff. And I happened to find one from my granny. And matter of fact, I gotta find it so I can put it on my Christmas tree. And cause I done moved again, y'all. So I gotta figure out where I placed it. It might be in a folder or something, but I found it, and I was like, dang, my granny always, every year didn't miss a beat. She gonna send that card. If she didn't have a gift to give you, you were gonna get a card. You was gonna get a card. And once I had got my own place, I moved out on my own. My granny asked for me for my address, so I gotta find them cards, y'all. But I know I got many more than just that one. But anyway, when I moved to my own house, she started sending me my own personal card to my address. She would send my mama a card for the family. And like my youngest brother, he had a different dad, but when she did buy us gifts and stuff, she never not included, my baby brother when she bought us gifts and stuff. So that's one thing, that I got to learn to adjust to not receiving holiday cards from my granny. That was a every year thing. So now I had to adjust to not look forward to receiving nothing. Like the last card was the last card. And so, as the years go by, you'll talk about, oh, my granny would have been to send a card by now because she sent one every year, blah, blah, blah. And as the years go on, you talk less about it. You just know not to expect it, of course, because, you know, she not here no more. And so for a lot of people, I feel like, we still got to live our lives. We still got to be here for our children. We got to still go to work. We still got to pay bills, as, hard as it may be on you emotionally, mentally, like life has to go on. Like you can't sit still for too long and dwell on people not being here, because I remember my granny used to always say, this what we living in hell. When you make it to heaven, and I truly believe that's where she is, baby, because she was a woman of her word, and I never ever, 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 at least she didn't let me see it. I can't find a time when I caught her angry. That's crazy. I'm just thinking, like, I can't think of a time that she was angry. I seen her. I don't know. I never saw this side of her. I'm sure, everybody get angry. We all human. I'm not saying she was perfect, but I just never saw it. She may have done it, when I wasn't around or something. I don't know. But I never saw it. And so, she was a woman of grace, and she was always genuine. She was always thoughtful. Like, she was funny, even though, she was funny as heck. But so them type of things I had to learn to adjust to. And like with my dad, like, even though I didn't talk to him, like our relationship wasn't the strongest or whatever, like now when you know that person is gone forever, you like, dang, you ain't gonna get that random call out the blue. Like, would call my grandma's house, and then I happen to be over there, and then my grandma be saying, Daryl on the phone for you. And so or one of my cousins down in Mississippi where they had moved to, he would reach out to me via Facebook. Rest his soul too. He's now passed on too, but he used to be the one reach out. Hey, I'm gonna let you talk to, when I get around your dad, I'm gonna let you talk to him. Or he asked about you, just kind of let me know that, he been asking about you, or, something like that. And so, it's just those random things. And I would have never thought that I would feel how I feel about my dad, because like I said, once became an adult, a young adult, up until an adult, we didn't have a relationship. My last time, like, other than in a hospital before he passed, like my last time seeing him had been years, was at my granny's funeral. And other than that, I hadn't seen him. And it's only a couple of times that I had talked to him, probably through my cousin, or, something like that. Or my brother would talk to him. My brother would say, tell me what he said. Like, he said he loved you, blah, 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 stuff like that. But you just learn to adapt. And I think in the season, my granny always said that, like I was saying before I got distracted a little bit, this is the flesh. This is just, what's the word that she used? This is just I can't remember the word that she used, but she said this is just our flesh, and to make it to the other side, to make it to through the gates is heaven. Is where, it's a celebration. You should celebrate, one's life, especially if they live, a good life. Like I said, my granny was a wholesome woman. You know, she was just all around grandma, granny, whatever you want to call it. I always call her granny. Me and my brother, we call her granny. We didn't call her grandma. And so, so it's just like, I feel like we have to look at it as we here on earth. This is hell. This is hell. That the hell, it ain't good on here on earth. This is not our resting place. This is not our final resting place. Everybody got a, time. Everybody got a date, God already know. And so, yeah, I don't know the words to put it in, but life goes on. And although you wish that you can bring them back, or you wish that you could talk to them one more time or see them one more time, but it's always going to be something that reminds you of them. You probably got a lot of memories with them. You just got to think back on the good memories, the good times, and, be thankful that you're still here. Although, like I said, this is hell on earth, for a lot of people, and just for how the world is going right now. And, but you're blessed. Nevertheless, you're blessed to still be alive, because, a lot of people, a lot of us, we want to still have time to get it right. We probably got goals and plans and things we want to live out before, our time comes. We can only pray, that we get to do whatever we have set, to do. So I just say, we just learn to adjust. We maneuver. We have our times where we gonna break down. We gonna think about them, and then we gotta just pick ourselves up and keep moving. Because, like I said, as harsh as it sounds, and you don't want life to go on after someone you love passed away. But if you got children, you got bills, you got things that you have to keep living for. And a lot of times, that person that has passed away, they want you to keep living. They want you to, they ain't in no more pain. They ain't hurt no more. They happy. You know what I'm saying? They gone to a better place for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And I truly feel like, both mine, even though my dad wasn't in my life, at the end of the day, I know he had a good heart. And, sometimes your circumstances, can create a different you. I say it like that. So yeah, we just learn to live without. As hard as it may sound, as it may be, we learn to live without. But they'll always be in your heart. They'll always be on our minds. And so I feel like that's how they keep living through you. When you speak and talk about the memories, the things that you used to do, the stuff that used to be funny, the things that just make you laugh, all the good times. I think that's how you keep them alive. How you keep their name alive and stuff like that when you speak on them, and just talk about the good and things like that. And so yeah, I just feel like in this season, this is a season of thankfulness, being grateful, and we should all practice patience and understanding during these times, during the holidays, because we don't truly know what people go through behind closed doors all the time. You got people that might laugh, joke all the time, and could be going through the absolute most. Everybody just don't show their feelings because, there's just, sometimes you got to be strong, and that's all you know to be is to be strong. And so I think in this season, everybody should give people grace, as everybody's trying to get through this holiday season. Because not only are people probably coping with or, missing somebody they love, life is hard. And life be life and has been lifing for a lot of us. And so if everybody just give everybody grace, then I feel like, we can get through. We can make it through. We can see over the mountain. We can start to, what I'm saying? Just give people grace, because you never know what somebody's going through. And don't ever laugh at somebody's pain. Don't ever, tell people that it's been years. You should be over. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time. You still, you don't know. Time, that's why I say time does not heal. We just learn to adapt. We learn to adapt to our circumstances, especially when it's unforeseen. Like if you didn't see it coming, it might hurt a little worse. And then sometimes, even though some people were sick, and you knew it was coming, but it still don't make it any less, hurtful or sad. You know what I'm saying? So let's, in this season, give grace. I will say that, give grace, and be understanding. And even when you're not understanding, and you know what I'm saying, if you don't really have the words to say, then just be there. Don't say nothing. Sometimes people don't need you to say nothing. Sometimes people just need you to listen, or people just need you to sit in silence with them. But everybody grieves different. Everybody takes grief different. And so you can't put a time on grief. You really can't. I lost an aunt 24 years ago. July the 4th made 24 years this year. So, and she was in my life, at the age of 15 is when she passed away. Like, I got a lot of people in my life that I grew up, knowing and was close to. Because at one point, my family was close knit. Like, I got a huge family. And we were like, baby, every Friday and Saturday and sometimes Sunday, baby, holidays, big, huge family, birthdays, all that. We had a huge family. And so if you close to people and then you no longer see them, it's like, damn, you used to picking up that phone, calling them, what we doing today? Or, so you're sitting in a room full of people, and you used to maybe your big mama sitting at this certain couch or in this certain chair she used to sit in every time there was a family gathering. No, everybody knew not to sit in grandma and granddaddy's chair, because there was a spot, there was a seat. Or you sit on the porch, and back in the day, we didn't have all the electronics and things like that. We were outside. We were climbing trees. We were playing in dirt. We were playing hide and go seek. We were playing with bugs. Like, we were having water fights. Like, we were outside riding bikes. Like, we were really outside children. Like, these are like electronic babies these days. I don't know. I can't get jiggy with it. But, so it's always going to be something. And then when that person is no longer here, and you got the seats that they used to sit in, and then for a while people might not sit in the seat because you just this such and such seat we can't sit in it, but you just learn to adapt. It might be a certain food that your grandma, your auntie, your uncle used to cook for the holidays, and you always look forward to it every holiday. And now, you don't get it no more. You have to learn to adapt. You might try to make it yourself or somebody, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about just adapting to your circumstances. Like, it be hard, but you know, I can't put it into words. If anybody out there can put it into words of what I'm trying to say, drop it in the comments. But we just learn to adapt, and you just maneuver through life, and it's like one of life's obstacles. Like, you don't know how to. It ain't come with a. It didn't come with a book. It didn't come with a manual. It didn't come with no instructions. It's just you got to learn to maneuver and adapt, and it's like you figure it out as you go, basically. So, and I would say, like, back in the day with my aunts, coming up as a little girl, getting older, she was an auntie. I always sat in her lap. Always. I don't care. I had started getting big. She never told me no or get up, you too heavy. I would always sit in her lap. And so that was something that I had to adjust to as well. Like, I don't know. I just used to like to sit in her lap, and she never made me get up. I know I was a little skinny little thing though, so I probably wasn't heavy. But that's something I had to learn to live without. Being playful, and having that person that when you see them, like, so you I don't know, you bottle up your emotions, because time ain't healed nobody that I ever loved and they passed away. I'm honestly not healed from nobody. Just over the years, you know your life goes on. You gotta keep moving, you gotta keep trucking. And so you're less and less emotional at times. But you know times as times go on, you adjust. So that's why I say I feel like time don't heal. You just learn a different way of living, basically. And so I feel like I want to go ahead and talk about this topic because the holidays coming up. We're right around the corner. Thanksgiving is literally what, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days away. So it's just something I know, with mental health, people are, going through it with this thing called life. People are depressed, people, just going through it. Life is life. And so this is the season where, when you can, when it permits, just call and check on somebody. Hey, how you doing today? What you doing? I just thinking about you, things like that. Just take into accountability that, people grieve different from you. People may or may not take more time to heal from certain situations than you. So just because it may have been 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, don't mean that people should be over it. You'll never get over losing somebody, especially if you was close to them. You saw them all the time. It was just almost an everyday type of lifestyle that that they were in your life, all of their life. So never think because it's been 30 years that people don't still hurt, because time don't heal. You just adjust, and I'm gonna keep saying it. You just adjust to your situation, you adapt to it. And so moving forward, get somebody a hug. A lot of times we all can relate to each other, in just grieving, period. So if you ever grieve somebody, if you've ever been depressed, if your mental hasn't been the best at times, or whatever the case may be a shoulder, be a listening ear, and just give grace. Okay, y'all. So that was on my mind. And like I said, I wanted to go ahead and talk about it because, I'm a person that don't really like to show my feelings that much. So, you know, but this was on my heart to talk about because we all can relate to this topic. We all done been there a time or two, unfortunately, but this is a relatable discussion, for everybody. And some might agree that time don't heal, and some may disagree, with what I'm saying. But like I said, you never are fully healed, because if you were healed, you wouldn't cry no more. You wouldn't be having them sad moments. You wouldn't be depressed. So you're not completely healed. You might be healed to a point where you just, you know what I'm saying? You're able to control your feelings and emotions at times when, you know what I'm saying, out in public or something like that. But I don't think you'll ever heal from a loss that impacted your life. You loved them, all kind of things. You grew up with them, or, whatever the case may be. So, we just adapt and keep living our lives. So that's going to be the end of this video, y'all. I pray that everybody is doing well. I pray that everybody has somebody that they can talk to when they are going through their emotions and depression or sadness or whatever. I pray that everybody has somebody to talk to. If you don't, they got numbers you can call to talk with a counselor to, express your feelings. And I feel like it's good to be able to get your feelings out, because, pressure busts pipes. And so if you're able to talk about it here and there, or write in a journal. But I feel like for me, saying it out loud helps me, even though I don't really like talking to nobody about my emotions, but, feelings or whatever I'm going through. But, yeah, hopefully y'all got somebody out there to help you through these tough times. And so I'm going to get out this video. Enjoy, be safe, and be blessed until next time. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you later.